be the biggest book haul of my life. Now, it's not entirely truthful to call it a book haul because all of these boxes around me are full of books, yes, but they're not new books, at least most of them are not. They are in fact my books from London, where I have been living for the past 3.5 years and have every intention of going back to. You'll have to watch my life update video if you want more info on that, but I have moved back in with my mum for basically the rest of 2020. And because of that, I had all my stuff brought up to Edinburgh, including these books, which I estimate are around 400. I have university books, books for my research, books I haven't read yet that have been sent for review, cooking books, like fiction books I have read and have kept, just so much, okay? And there was a lot of space in my flat before where those books were, so they all got packed up in these boxes, and I thought it might be fun to basically take you through the unpacking process. I am going to be going through these books quite rigorously, so that does mean I'm going to be getting rid of some to unhaul. There's others that I'm going to be trying to section off into piles based on what rooms they're going to be going into in my mum's house to help me organise them. I also know there's some books in here that I had been keeping aside as gifts anyway, so I'll have to sort those out, and it's just going to be a bit of a process basically, and I'm not sure I've got space for all of them, so that's why I'm also going to be unhauling some. I know there are also a few other bits and pieces in these boxes, like my board games, but it should mainly be the books now because I've unpacked everything else, and that's why a few of these boxes are already open, because I knew there was things in them that weren't books, and then like this little box down here was inside another book. But I think that's pretty self-explanatory as it goes. I also plan on FaceTiming my friend Jill, who is in Edinburgh and loves books, so she can keep me company. As much as I appreciate your guys' company, we can't actually talk until afterwards. So Jill and I are going to be FaceTiming, and she may crop up at some point during this video, although on FaceTime. To be honest though, I feel like that's pretty much everything covered. I'm not 100% sure where to start, so I might start with this box next to me. And, yep, that's a satisfying noise. Okay, so okay. Speaking of Jill, this is actually a book I borrowed from Jill. I need to get back to her, so that's something I'll need to be doing. Okay, we seem to have quite a mixture in here. I'm including books that actually, yes, are my friends. So these are actually my friend Ailsa's as well, who has a YouTube channel that I'll link down below and lives in London, so probably not the most convenient for them to have come up here, but what can you do? Those are friends' books that I need to return, so that's a separate pile of its own. And then yeah, I think most of this is from my fiction bookcases that were in the living room of our flat. I had most of my non-fiction in my bedroom and all my classics in my bedroom, and then my fiction in the living room in the big bookcase that was in there. So I think that's predominantly what we've got there, except for this random Brief History of Ancient Greece, which was my textbook from first year of university, and I used it as well when I was teaching because I think it's just really helpful source. But then yeah, like I mentioned, we have a lot of fiction. In fact, something that might be worthwhile here is me showing you the inside of those boxes on my phone and inserting that footage. Yes, Jean, that would have been clever. So this is what I'm currently looking at. We have mainly fiction, like I mentioned, so that's a graphic novel, but then we have a bunch of fiction under here. That's Christy Logan's short story collection, some mass market paperbacks, another Isabel Greenberg graphic novel. I mean, this I'm not getting rid of because this is one of my favourite books of all time. This is brilliant, love it. Okay, so I've already made a mess around me, great. I guess I'm going to just start taking all of these out and going through them. Do you like my setup? Look!
Oh my god.
I just boxes around me.
You're just surrounded by it.
I'm surrounded.
Oh, gee.
So I'm gonna like clear some stuff out as well, and so I'll show you the stuff I might be getting rid of in case you want it.
Yes.
And then there's also books I'm gonna lend you. Do you want to say hello?
Oh god, yeah, okay. Look awful. Hello.
Jill says hi. This I just got actually. This is the new book by Nicholas Skinner. Yeah, so when I find Bloom, I'll lend that to you. But I'm really excited. In fact, did I ever haul this? I don't know if I ever hauled this, but this came just before I left London. All these like fantasy. What on earth?
Trump.
There's just a plant inside this.
Did you put that there?
I don't think so. I mean, I did buy the second hand, so I guess somebody else could have, or it could have just ended up in there by mistake.
This is fun already.
I might keep that, why not? We pressed flower. But this I'm getting rid of because it was rubbish, so you don't want it either.
Good.
Yeah, I'll show. First
This
book.
is the rom-com thing.
Oh my god, yeah, but I liked the first book in the series. This one was just trash. This was like, me, Tarzan, you, Jane. This is the first book for the Unhaul pile, which is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. Did not enjoy this book particularly.
What's an unhaul?
Unhaul is the opposite of a haul. It's when you unhaul things.
When you get rid of books?
So that's going in the unhaul pile. I don't have any piles yet. That's the first book in the pile.
Yay!
Woo! Oh, it's going to be beautiful. And then I can do a whole like bookcase tour. Oh, beautiful. Can't wait. That's fancy. Unhaul.
They all fit on the bookshelves, do you think?
No, Jill, I do not think that they will.
I was going to say, I don't think so either. What are you going to do then?
I might have to buy another bookcase. Oh, I found the mass market paperback pile.
God, that needs us on the bookshelf as well.
Oh no, those aren't. wait, I've got more.
I bet they had a grand old time packing this up, looking at all your books.
Oh my god, I wonder like what kind of person you think someone is based on their bookcases. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the end of the mass market.
It never is.
This one is technically my dad's, so I'll put that back on my dad's bookshelf. That's in Ursula K. Le Guin. Oh look, I've got this short story collection that I need to read that are all stories from Palestine.
That's cool.
I bet Harriet would want to read this afterwards as well. This little box also has DVDs in it. Including, this has just got like all my favourites in it. Got Hamish Macbeth, Pride,
Oh, love it.
the two best films ever made, The Full Monty and Pride.
Okay.
Genuinely, if you haven't seen either of these films, make it a priority. Starbuck, also one of my faves. Hamish Macbeth, seasons 1, 2 and 3. Classic BBC crime series starring Robert Carlyle. Xena Warrior Princess DVDs. Really important discovery. Rubber bat.
This is box 2. 3?
This is box 2, but this box isn't completely full because this had some other stuff in it, so I took the other stuff out. Oh, wait, I'm going to show this one. This one I actually never got a chance to haul because it came just after I left London and I'd agreed to take a review copy from the publisher, but it sounds great. It's called Rummage by Emily Cockayne, and it's a history of the things we have reused, recycled and refused to let go. So it's basically a history of recycling. Oh, this is the pile of books I'd been putting aside to lend you.
Yay!
So we've got The Diviners by Libba Bray.
I really want to read that.
Yep, Jill's borrow pile. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I really enjoyed this. Oh, you'll like this one. The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black.
Oh! Yes!
Finally, you can finish the trilogy.
Finally! Okay, so what happened? How many boxes are there?
That's a good question, Jill. So that's 2 I've already unboxed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12 boxes of books.
Yeah, I don't think I said that in the introduction either. There are 12 boxes of books here. 2 of the boxes also have board games in them though. In my defence. Okay, I just thought I'm going to show you the inside of this book. I've just had to interrupt my phone conversation with Joe for this. Again, this is more fiction from the fiction bookcase, and this is currently what my piles are looking like. I mean, it is semi-organised, I swear to you, right? There's rhyme and reason to these piles. Yes, there is. These fantasy piles need to be broken down a bit. Oh my god, they're literally in the camera now and they weren't before. Fantasy is getting turned into 4 stacks instead of 2, because otherwise they're gonna fall over.
What will it be? Come on down.
Oh, this one also says it has some cushions in it.
How heavy does it feel?
It still feels quite heavy.
The box is alive.
Ah, my cushions! 15-minute vegan, this is one of my favourite cookbooks. I mean, mainly because it's 50 minutes, but I have so many recipes in here that I love. So that's box number 4 completed, which only leaves 8. We are 2/3 of the way through. So that's alright, that's alright, that's alright. This book is actually one of the Feminist Orchestra Book Club reads for this year. I think it's the last book we're reading in the year, but I'll link the book club down below, and it is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. So if you were curious and wanted to read that along with some other people, this one actually, weirdly, all book club books seem to be together, because this is the book my Patreons and I have picked for our book club at the moment and are about to start reading, and that's the Book of Phoenix by Nadia Corafor. So that will also be linked down below. There's just so much. I've never looked at it like this.
You're in despair.
It doesn't look as bad when it's all on the bookcases. This is a book I want to put on my TBR shelf because it's The Emperor's Babe by Bernardine Evaristo, who probably most of you know is the author of Girl, Woman, Other, because it won the Man Booker Prize last year. But this is set in ancient Rome.
What?
I know, so I bought this years ago and it's written in verse, and I've just never gotten around to reading it, but I like to pick up books that are set in antiquity. Yeah, and then I realised it was the same woman.
Wow.
I don't know.
And it's written in verse.
Yeah, it's written in verse. That's for the TBR, because I'm already halfway through this. This is nice also having my books back, because finally I can read the books that I left behind that I was halfway through, like Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nagan. So this is box number 6, and it actually has a lot of my ancient history non-fiction in here, so this I'm actually going to leave the majority of inside, because I'll carry this upstairs to the shelf which is designated for ancient history non-fiction. But I see there's like already a few books in here that won't be going on the shelf. This will be staying downstairs on the non-fiction bookcase, so I'll like take this out for example, and like my Virginia Woolf, but otherwise I'll leave a lot of this in here. But I do always love these Virginia Woolf editions of her books from vintage. They're so dusty. But I always think these look really lovely on display, so I'll find somewhere nice to put those. I just have to show the camera. They're just everywhere. They're just everywhere. And now I've got to find places. And Scouts. Actually, that's mainly board games as well. Woohoo! What am I on then? I've only got 3 left! Ugh. I'm building up a sweat. Love Wait by Jeanette Winterson.
Such a good book.
Such a good book. Here's our horror book, which is exactly what I'm in the mood for. Raw Blood by Katrina Ward. This is going on the TBR. Sorry, I just have to share with you this angle because... oh, goodness. This is fun. I have been folding out the boxes as I've been going. These are mainly board games, that's why they're still in there. That one I've been keeping stuff for my TBR shelf in. I started with some order with this stuff, but I have managed to get rid of like 10 books. No, more than 10, like 20 books on haul though. And then I have 2 stacks there which are for Jill, and then cookbooks which will stay down here. And then only, those are non-fiction, one last box, so I thought I would do the honours up close. This also has my printer in it, as the label suggests. Okay. So how many books are actually in here? This is more non-fiction. Okay, so this is more non-fiction for ancient history and regular non-fiction. And then underneath it all must be the printer. Yeah, that's my printer. So there's not actually that many boxes in here. Cool. But boxes, there's not actually that many books in here. Well, I never. Oh, so I kind of think that might be it. I'm on my iPhone now, but I think that's it done. I said I was going to unbox them, never said I was going to tidy them up on camera or organise them, because who has the time? It takes much longer if you do things on camera. And I kind of hungry, so I might eat before I actually start heaving these all around the house. I put a few things away. I put my ancient history books away, not the non-fiction, my classical literature away. I put that away on its bookcase. So I did do one thing. And now I'm gonna sort of leave this here so my mum can come in and be horrified, and then deal with it all, and then I want to film a separate video, which is an entire bookcases, bookshelves tour of this whole house. So all of my parents' books and my books once they're all organised. Don't know when that'll be, probably later this month, but yeah, keep an eye out for that. Hopefully this was entertaining to watch. I know it didn't really have much rhyme or reason to it. It was just sort of, I'll bring you along this journey whilst Jill keeps me company, and I have no idea what it's going to be like to edit because I actually ran out of space on my memory card, which is why we're now on the iPhone. So yeah, from me and all my books, I'll see you later.